With Team USA's embarrassing performance at the World Cup, the NHL has elected to replace Team USA with a team like North America or Team Europe. So it's more competitive. So I brainstormed and created possible replacements for Team USA. I then took these teams and put them into the tournament to see which is best. The teams are split into 2 groups of 4, where each team will play a round-robin tournament. 2 teams from each group will move on to a single-game elimination playoff. The first-place team in each group will play the second-place team of the opposite group. Also, to keep the tournament competitive, the geography used is not 100% correct. And with that, let's begin. Our first team in Group A is Team North America over 35, where all players must be 35 or older. They have a pretty good offense, but not a lot of speed. On D, their top pair is good, but the depth is not. They're strongest in net with Luongo and Ryan Miller. Next is Team Scandinavia, who are the favorite of the tournament. That offense is stacked, the defense is even better, and in net they are also stacked, with the King getting the start. Third is Team Central Europe. Central has a decent offense, but they lack star power. On D, they have plenty of offensive defensemen who should be able to help the offense. In net, they're not the greatest either. Rice gets the start in net and will need to play above his overall. Last is Team Western Europe. The weakest team of the group, the Costa is going to have to lead an offense without much help. The D is very weak, but they are underrated. The ageless wonder Hue will have to steal some games if they want to move on. In Game 1, Scandinavia would easily take down Western. In Game 2, Central would beat North America in what was a very close game. Scandinavia would then beat Central to all but assure them advancing. North America would get in the win column by shutting out Western. In the final day, Central would put up 3 goals to win versus Western. North America needed a win, but it would be unsuccessful as Scandinavia wins 3-1. Scandinavia is the first seed and Central the second. First is Team Eastern Europe, or basically Team Russia with Grabowski, have a great offense. The D is a bit weaker, and Officer Braub is on the case in net. Second is Team Baltic. It's not the strongest on offense, and their D is not the greatest either, but I think it has the potential to upset. In net, Elvis has entered the building. Next is Team Czechoslovakia. Team Czechoslovakia comes in with a lot of stars on offense and some nice depth. On D, they have some great players, but there are some concerns too. Mrazek and Halak will handle the duties in goal. Our final team is Team Rest of the World. These players are from countries not associated with another reject World Cup team. Team Rest of the World is going to rely on Denmark for most of its players, but Australian Nathan Walker and Croatian Borna Randulic are nice depth players. The D is led by a poor man's Erik Karlsson and Larson and not strong. Anderson and Fukafuji get the start in net. On day 1, Czechoslovakia would get off to a great start, shutting out Team Baltic. Eastern Europe would also open with a shutout versus Rest of the World. In a game that could decide first place, Czechoslovakia made a comeback and beat Eastern Europe 4-3. Rest of the World would set up a chance to spoil Eastern with a 3-0 victory versus Team Baltic. Team Rest of the World would not spoil as they fall to Czechoslovakia 2-0. Eastern Europe would cruise past Team Baltic for an easy win. Czechoslovakia is the first seed, Eastern Europe the second. So in our bracket, we now have first seed Scandinavia taking on second seed Eastern Europe, and then we have first seed Czechoslovakia taking on second seed Central Europe. 2 minutes into the game, Alexander Ovechkin with an absolute rocket in the slot. And 6 minutes later, another great chance from the grade 8, but this time it wouldn't go. Fast forward to the third period. Scandinavia, they need to do something, and a huge goal there. But only 2 minutes later, off a tip, they would take the lead. Team Eastern Europe could not come back. Scandinavia moves on with a 2-1 victory. Now on to the next semifinal. 7:30 left in the first. Easy rebound for a wide open net. Czechoslovakia has the lead. With a nice amount of time left, they would increase their lead after a nice shot at the top of the circle. Second period, Thomas Plekanec is going to get alone in front of the net, and with the sexy backhander, he scores. 3-0 Czechoslovakia. Only a minute left in the second. Svev Berchi starts the comeback effort for Central Europe. Early in the third, though, an own goal by Central Europe, and that would be it. Czechoslovakia advances with a 4-1 win. So, for the championship, Scandinavia will be taking on Czechoslovakia. Final game of the tournament, neither team's goaltender letting up, but with 6 minutes left in the second, a tip has Team Scandinavia up 1-0. Halfway through the third, a rebound comes out to Marian Hossa, who buries it to tie the game up. Both teams had a lot of chances in overtime, but nothing happening. We go to a shootout to decide the tournament. Jakub Voracek would be the first shooter, and he'd do a nice little dangle to score and get the first one for Czechoslovakia. Erik Karlsson would be the first shooter for Team Scandinavia, and he would miss. Team Czechoslovakia goes back at it, and they get another one. Similar dangle, and now Team Scandinavia has to score here, and they do. Jaromir Jagr with a chance to win it, and he would miss. So now it's up to Gustav Nyquist, the Goose. Can he score to keep this one alive for Team Scandinavia? He would not. Mrazek with the save, and Team Czechoslovakia is your 2016 Reject World Cup Teams champions. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out my last video where I took Austin Matthews and put him up against Patrick Laine. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, go into the subreddit, and use code PolarBear at everythinghockey.com. You get 10% off your order, and bye. Bye.